Okay, so I'm gonna get straight to the point. You gotta stop caring what other people think of you and just go all in with your business, with your personal life, whatever you wanna do. I see so many people right now that have huge potential. They could become amazing, they could achieve their dreams, but they sit and they're so obsessed with their loved ones, with people that don't even truly know them, care about them, think about them, and it's like they're in that mind frame of like, I don't want to bother anyone. I don't want to build an online business because then my parents, my broke friends are gonna see that and they're gonna be jealous. So I don't know what they're gonna think of me. I don't want to go all in, so I'm just gonna like beat around the bush. I'm not gonna do the outreach I need to do. I'm not gonna work on the deals that I gotta work on. I'm not gonna chase the clients. I'm not gonna post the content that I gotta post. And I'm a perfect example of not giving a fuck about what other people think. If you're new to the channel, I just want to give you a quick like background story, and this is gonna be a raw video, so another yap session, but it's gonna be like super valuable because so many of you right now are in that place of being like caring about the opinions of others more than you do of like about your own, if that made sense. So you care about others more than you think about like yourself. So just as a background story, I was always that rebel creative kids. I did not give a shit. Like ever since second grade, little Andre was making, I don't know, magazines for kids. I was drawing tattoos in fifth grade. I started writing lyrics in fourth grade, like poetry. It was like I've always been that creative kid because deep down, I was looking at the people around me, looking at my parents, looking at society, and I was like, there's no way for me to end up like them. There's no way for me to end up with the job that I hate. So like, no, I gotta go against the wave. I gotta create my own lane. So ever since I was super young, I got used to this idea of like, okay, you know what, throughout this life, I'm gonna like, no matter what I do, no matter what I create, especially when I try to create something for myself, I'm gonna be judged. And that's just as simple as it is, right? So in eighth grade, that I think, yeah, seventh or eighth grade, that's when I got into music, like seriously. And I remember I told my parents, I don't give a fuck. Like I'm going into high school, I'm just gonna start making music. I've invested all my money in equipment, whatever, and I started basically high school by like putting out songs and stuff. Now, when I got into high school, what do you like? A lot of people, almost everyone was making fun of me because like my music was crap, right? Like I wasn't good in high school, I'm not gonna lie. But I didn't care. I didn't care because I was following my vision. And then in college, when I really, really like took music seriously, that's when I started to see people come around and be like, oh my God, like, dude, you're making moves with music. You're like putting out music videos, albums, like the stuff, like your evolution has been crazy, bro. Like, what's your secret? And I was looking at them and I was like, dude, my secret is just like ungodly amounts of work and not giving a crap about what you guys think. It's as simple as that. And then I stopped making music in 2022 after like a long period just because I realized that environment was not an environment that will allow me to fully be myself and reach my goals in this life. So I just packed my bags and I stopped. And even with me dropping out of college, like it was the same thing. I had a look at like what was going on, and I was like, you know what, this is not for me. I'm gonna stop this. Like, there's no way for me to do this, and I don't care what you think. I didn't care what my parents were thinking of me, and like I just dropped out. And then I got into business, and in business is funny because this is like the whole point. A lot of people don't want to. It's not that like people have a fear of failure, most of you guys have a fear of success. Like, if you're actually honest with yourself, you're afraid of being so successful because deep down you think that's going to bother the people around you, the people who already like know you, who are used to the old you, the old version of yourself. So you just want to like stay in your own lane, and again, not do any work and not really become too successful because you're trying to like just, not disturb anyone. And when I got into business, my first like couple of businesses were a mess. Like my creative agency, I was making websites, I was working with a couple of clients, it was a mess. I constantly talk about it on my channel. The e-com store, my first e-com store was a complete flop. Like it just completely flopped. My second one popped off. And that's when I really understood like, because I made 6 figures with it and it was crazy. And I really understood like, oh my God, like I never even seen this amount of money like in my life. No one around me has seen this amount of money. And it was interesting because that kind of like gave me the awareness of like, you really have to be a savage with this and just zone in on what you're doing, go all in without caring what others think. Because if you're trapped into that, if I'm gonna build like, and we're gonna obviously get into personal brand and content and the consulting business right now that I'm doing, but if I'm building something and let's say I have a couple of friends or a couple of, family or whatever, relatives that in their life they never built what I'm building, what business do I have like spending my entire day worrying about what they think? Right? They didn't even do that. They didn't even go through it. And so and this is where I want to get to. When I started my personal brand at the end of 2023 and it took off completely in last year in 2024 on Instagram, it completely took off. I actually started getting messages from people that I knew in high school and especially college that were kind of like shitting on me. You know what I mean? Like they were like, dude, what are you doing? Like what the like downplaying like basically my success, all because it made them uncomfortable. And that put a smile on my face because I realized that's why most of you like watching are scared of going all in. Because the majority of people that know you are so used to like a version of you from the past that if you present them with like, if you show them the new version of you, the one that is going all in, the one that is disciplined, is fully dedicated, is fully committed, the one that invests in themselves and the one that like truly levels up, if you show them that, they're just gonna shit on you. They're just gonna like depart from you. That's why you're afraid of going in. And it's crazy to me. Like we live in a time where people are so obsessed about like what other people might think of them that they don't want to post that video. They don't want to build that business. And deep down, guess what happens? Deep down, they're bitter. And they think they're mad at the people, the external factors or whatever. But no, they're mad at themselves. They're mad at the fact that they were so obsessed with the opinions of strangers, really, or even loved ones, that they silenced themselves and they amputated themselves, their own potential. That is crazy to me. So if you're watching this right now, if you're in the middle of building a business, either that or trying to escape a 9-to-5 and build an online business, but you're afraid of what other people might think, you just gotta you just gotta say fuck it. You just gotta say fuck it. I would not be here right now. I would not have this life. I would not have this personal brand, this consulting business, these clients that I'm working with, these opportunities, everything. I wouldn't have none of this if I would be so obsessed about what others think of me. You know how many, you know how much judgment you get? Because that's another thing. when numbers go up, when you truly start to like pop on the internet, no matter what you do, no matter what your offer is, no matter what, like, if you genuinely, by the way, like, try to provide like value and build something, you know, like worthy, not, I'm not talking about like trolling on the internet, but like if you really want to build a serious like online business, if you're doing content, the minute you pop off, like the people from your past that used to know you, they're gonna be like, dude, like, look at this guy. Who does he think he is, right? And they're gonna judge you so much, but let them. Like, who cares? Who cares? Are you so afraid of judgment from people that they don't even like want the best for you? Are you so afraid of their judgment that you're just gonna minimize your potential? You're just gonna like limit your potential? That is absolutely crazy to me. And I've always told myself, like, look, I've always had this mindset of like, at the end of the day, it's gonna be me against the world. It's gonna be like, if people don't get it, they don't get it. And so that's fine. Because I'm gonna prove them wrong. And it's not about proving them wrong, it's about proving myself right. They don't even matter. Like, that's the thing. I'm gonna be super raw here. Like, your mom, your dad, your girlfriend, boyfriend, whatever, they don't even matter. Their opinions don't even matter at the end of the day, as long as you are fully aligned with what you're doing. They might not understand your vision now, but they will later. If you truly build something, and if you're truly dedicated, truly committed, if you truly put in the work, going all in, doesn't matter what they think, because you know deep down, like, you have that vision. And sometimes that's the thing. Entrepreneurship is super lonely. Like, it gets so lonely at times. Like, I have, even now, like, I have days when I'm thinking to myself, like, dude, am I just insane? And I think to a degree, you gotta be delusional, right? You have to be delusional. Like, if you're an entrepreneur, if you're trying to build something from scratch, if you're trying to essentially build a business that will pay you for the rest of your life and potentially like pay for like generations to come and create generational wealth and break the curse of like your family or whatever. Like, I don't come from like a rich family. My mom, my dad, like, they're not in business. They never had their own business. They're amazing people. I love them. Don't get me wrong, but like, they're regular people. You know, they got jobs. My friends as well. Like, I love my friends like they're my brothers, but again, I don't come from an environment that is all about like, yeah, build businesses and make a lot of money and travel and freedom and stuff like that. Like, I don't come from that. So I had to literally transform myself and reprogram my brain and just build my new identity to even, for me to even be able to scratch the surface. And do you think do you think I would have been able to do that had I cared about opinions? No matter what you do in this life, no matter what you build, no matter how much money you make or how little money you make or like how much freedom, or it doesn't matter, like, you're gonna get judgment. You're gonna get judgment. So if you're still watching this video right now, you have to realize, if you're not going all in, it's 2025. It's like AI is popping right now. Like, it's crazy. If you're not going all in, if you're not like, it's gonna be too late. It's gonna be too late. It's as simple as that. If you're not willing to go all in to fully transform your life, reach your goals, and build a better situation, not only for you, but also for your loved ones, even if they don't understand the process, if you're not willing to do that, then it might be too late for you. It might be too late, because AI is popping. Jobs are gonna get replaced. That's why I constantly talk about it on my channel. Like, build a personal brand, like, build something online, like, try to like take your expertise and help others. Build, like, take the pain that you went through, the knowledge that you have, whatever the expertise, and build something with it. And that's the thing, dare to overcome your fears and just become the version of yourself that you want to become. And stop like operating from this fear of like, oh my God, What are people going to think of me? I don't want to bother anyone. You know what? You probably should bother someone. You probably should like annoy some people with your success. Have you thought about that? I want to become, and I'm saying this for the first time I think on the channel, but I want to become so annoying with my success, but not to the right people that get the process and that get my gratitude and my humility at the same time, but for those people that just hate. For those, because the only hate only comes from, like, it never comes from above. The only reason those kind of people like hate on you is because they themselves don't have the guts to go all in. And so they push that fear and that limitation, those limiting beliefs onto you. They project that, and you take that and somehow you integrate it into your life, and you don't pursue the life that you want. And it's as simple as that. Like, honestly, I'm probably gonna end the video right now because, like, I could talk about this for like hours on end. Stop giving a damn about what others think of you. Just stop. Life is way too short. You could literally go out tomorrow or in 10 minutes. You don't know. You don't know. And always, like, if you look at, like, I look at my granddad, for example, like, he's super old. Like, he's 85, I think, 86, something like that. And I see regret. Like, I see that regret, right? I see the regret of, like, oh, I wanted to do those things, but I didn't, right? Because when you're old, there's nothing you can do anymore but, like, wait for the inevitable. So you have to become a savage. Like, this is your sign right now to just become a savage. Just zone in on what you're doing. Zone in on your vision. Zone in on your mission. And that's the thing, if you actually want to make an impact, build a legacy, focus on that. Don't stress about what others think of you while they are stuck in their own bubble. Because again, the only reason they're judging you and they're pointing fingers is that they themselves, they don't have the courage to do that. So they gotta pick on someone. They gotta find, like, a bad guy. And you know what? Sometimes in life, you have to be that bad guy. Brings me back to that Tony Montana, like, scene from Scarface. Like, you need someone to point your finger. And that's how it is, especially with online business. When you're trying to build a lifestyle, when people see you get wins that they never even dreamed of, they're going to judge you. But you know what? They're going to watch as well. So give them, like, a good show, become a savage, and go all in.